I have a very special and quite loud guest, so I need to drive out this and you will see who's coming. Cheers, man. The reason you don't drink at all, is it because you want to drive all the time?
No, I don't like the taste of alcohol.
Perfect.
I'm not sure if it's perfect, but that's the reason.
But have you ever drink?
A bit, but not much. I was trying to see what happens with me.
What happened?
I'm getting slow and I have to laugh about everything. Sounds not too bad, yeah?
No, that's like when I'm here in Munich, whenever I meet you. Laughing all the time. So, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
The famous YouTube channel.
Finally.
So, thank you for injecting me with the passion and the poison of that I needed to buy a sports car as soon as possible.
I'm so sorry about that.
How did you manage that?
Well, I guess I just infected you with a little spark of...
Little spark sounded like...
The electric car world already catched you too much and I thought I need to bring you back to life.
Tell me more, like how did it happen the first day we met?
The first day we met was in design school, huh? Design school Munich.
Dr. Wickenizer picked me with the Tesla Model S plate.
Yes. And then I thought I needed to give you a bit more petrol feeling.
Because after the Tesla, we went to electric go-karts.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much electric. And you were like, we need to bring you back to life.
Exactly.
And you picked me with this thing. V8, 500 horsepower?
495.
Oh, that's it.
Embarrassing, I know.
Oh, that was one of the best experiences I ever had in a car.
Yeah, we were on this traffic light.
Yeah.
And then we transformed the car just from...
That was literally teleporting from one point to the other one.
Yeah, it was a magical one.
It was an E63 AMG, I guess, next to us.
Before
the BMW SUV, before that one.
Yeah.
It was an E63, I guess. It stopped next to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, can he catch us? And you were like, nah. And then, phew, it was...
Yeah, I think he sold it afterwards.
Probably. No, that was great. So, Helmut, who are you?
It's a good question. I'm a car enthusiast. Since the age of 6, I only wanted to become a car designer. So I was sketching a lot, and every time we bought this Mercedes, or we went to the Mercedes trader, and then we got some magazines, and then in the end, if you were lucky, there was a design sketch.
Okay.
So there was no internet or something like that, where you can get some sketches. So it was basically side view airbrushes, and oh look, there's a car design sketch. Oh yeah. So it was really something magical, and when I was starting to get more and more into the car design, how to learn to be a car designer, there was this AD markers and sketch markers, and then it developed more and more to go into this direction.
And then you studied design or what?
Yes, I studied industrial design in Munich with the main focus on transportation design with Ottmar Wickenizer. And out of this we got a really good friendship out of this.
Yeah, he mentions you sometimes as a best friend, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, he is also one of my best friends, to be honest. We had already crazy trips like Goodwood or Monaco or
Monaco for Formula 1, right?
Formula 1, yeah. I had a big accident, a bike accident where I destroyed my face. and I was watching Formula One over this little monitor, and he was visiting me, and this was Formula One Monaco, and I was like losing all the liquids, like, oh. And then he said, yeah, next year we go there, and I said, like, oh yeah, next year we go there, and we really did it. Next year we went there with Jan together, and we went from Monaco Formula One.
I don't want to get into details, but when you say destroyed your face, you literally destroyed your face, right?
I broke many bones. I was 13 days in artificial coma. Yeah, it was exactly today, 11 years ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, congrats.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
I had good doctors.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And Jan, you mentioned Jan. Jan is, I mentioned in the channel before, he has 2 Dodge Vipers at the moment still, right?
Yeah, still.
He couldn't sell or didn't sell?
Both. No, there was no buyer in the moment for one, so
and
he sadly has to drive both.
Oh, that's a pity. As we are talking about the cars, you have this, not like daily drive.
No.
For daily, what do you have?
An Audi A8
with
4.2 liter with autogas, LPG.
Oh.
So it's very sensible.
Yeah, environment friendly.
Environment friendly, yeah.
Totally.
It is, yeah.
Actually, when you look at serious point of view, it is, because how old is this car?
It's from 2003.
So it's more than 20 years. It means way more sustainable than buying a new car anyway. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, and even the CO2 emission is a bit lower because of the LPG. And 1 liter is €1, so not too bad.
And even with this car, like, it's a huge limousine. You had 3 people in it last time when we go to go-kart. You had 3 people plus you. And I tried to follow you with the Cayman. It was barely like 250 something. It was so difficult. So such a cool car.
It's made for Autobahn, so.
He's such a cool but also humble guy, because he has 2 more cars. If I don't ask, he wouldn't even talk about it. He has M6 V10 and ML63, right? AMG 63. Fucking insane.
Yeah, I don't buy the cars to show off. I'm just buying them because I'm a passionate car guy and I love to drive them. It's not like I want to be seen in them. It's more like I love to punish them.
It's hard to even see you, when you drive one of those. We just came back from a little trip. It's
super late, huh?
12:45 a.m. now. We were driving in Munich with this popcorn exhaust. Like, it was fun.
Cool. Like always.
Yeah, as always. So I have a couple of questions for you that would maybe inspire the young students. Wait, what do you do now at Audi? Did you mention that already? We talked about it?
No.
Okay, so what do you do now?
So I'm an exterior designer in Audi since 13 years. And last year I was in Lamborghini. And before it started with an internship at BMW. And then I did an internship in Audi. And then I did my bachelor thesis in Audi. And then I stayed there.
Wow. And you mentioned the Lamborghini very briefly. How did you go there? Why did you go there? Why did you come back?
First of all, Lamborghini is one of my absolutely favorite brands. I love the design language. Yeah. For me, the best car on this planet, the best exterior designed car, is the Lamborghini Countach LP 500. Okay. So without the extra fenders, just a clean sculpture. And for me, it's still a UFO. So I always wanted, Lamborghini. And then there was an opportunity. They were asking us who wants to go there. And I said, like, yeah. And then I had the luck that they really picked me. And it was a super great time there. But I missed somehow my family, my friends, my home base. But the work itself was awesome. And with Mitya, I had a super wonderful time together. And with all the guys there working, super passionate. Was a cool experience, but somehow I felt like, it's too far away from my family. Yeah,
no, I know that feeling. That's one of the reasons I became a freelancer, because of the location freedom. Lambo is at Sant'Agata Bolognese, right?
Exactly.
It's a small town, and it's a bit hard to live after getting used to Munich for years.
Exactly. I'm a spoiled brat. I live in Munich, and I have Austria. I have my parents, so. It was tough to leave that so far away.
Of course. Cool. There's a legend saying that sometimes you put 4 hours of V8 engine on your headphones with the music while working. Is it true?
Yeah, sometimes I do that, especially on board Le Mans Corvette C6. And then I put also my music, so it feels like I'm driving a V8 and I'm listening to cool music. So anyway, for me it's a big inspiration to listen to music. It's I think everyone has his own way of getting into a vibe, but it's hard to do by pushing a button to be creative. So I put big speakers, loud music, and then I'm directly thinking nothing, and then the time is running like 5 minutes, but it was several hours. And with the music I can bring my brain into a vibe where I don't think. Mm-hmm. And I think when you don't think, this is the moment where the best designs or the most creative time is appearing.
I totally agree with that. Like when you get into flow, they say, right?
Exactly.
You forget about time, you forget about what's happening, you're just getting into mood and you lose yourself.
Exactly. And this is the workflow you need to find. Not to think, just do it.
And you listen generally electro?
Mostly, yeah. I have a nice colleague, Juan Carlos. He's listening to super rough rock, how is it called, heavy metal?
Yeah.
Like, die motherfucker, die. I couldn't sketch with that, but so everyone has his own way of listening music. Mostly I like this chilled electronic thing, but also sometimes rock, or also even Hans Zimmer, when you think you're doing something epic when you listen to that. Yeah, it depends what you're doing.
And yeah, I think I have your playlist to drive back to Poland. My 7 hours drive, I put this Bluetooth speaker with your playlist, and it really works.
Tell me.
Perfect. Of course, you cannot talk about the Audi studio stuff, so I will not ask about that. I want to ask, on my note, it's like, let's go for a drive, but we already did it, so I will not ask that. Your advice for students, I'm curious, like, you are at Audi for 13 years, and you are quite experienced in that. You have, in Munich, I have to tell this, in Munich, wherever we go, there is some car designers that Helmut knows. Like, you know a lot of people, a lot of professionals, so you talk with them a lot. What would be your advice for a young man who wants to be a designer today?
Yeah, it's tough. You have to have so many skills nowadays. You need to can sketch well, you need to Photoshop well, and you need to at least know one CAD program well. Like Alias or Blender is now the tool probably to have, because you also have the super visualization, and it's a freeware, which is also very good for students. I'm not making any commercial for any special program, but in Audi we work a lot with Blender, and it's a crazy tool, and it's also fun because if you model the car also in a nice shader, you have more fun doing the car, so to say. So my advice is learn how to sketch, learn how to Photoshop, and learn how to use Blender, and then be open for AI tools like Viscom, for example. But don't start only with Viscom. That would be my advice, because before you run, you should learn how to walk. So if you get a result from Viscom very easy and quickly, and you want to change it, and you cannot handle Photoshop, then you're in a kind of a trap. So first you need to handle the tools, and then you can use the super tool like Viscom, which can make you a lot quicker, or any kind of AI.
No, I totally agree with that. Sometimes I see AI result, it can be Viscom or Midjourney or whatever, but I see cars, they look super realistic, amazing reflections, colors, environments, but the car is just wrong, the wrong wheelbase.
Yes.
That's enough, already wrong wheelbase. So the first proportions, perspective,
Absolutely.
sketching, and then
and somehow proportions you learn more by experience. It's the more often you do, the more you have the feeling for the balance. Is the wheel too big, too small? Is the position of the wheel correct? Is the wheelbase correct? Is the width, the height correct? So for this would be my biggest advice: sketch on paper, and then take a thin paper. 80 gram paper is already too thick. I would use 40 gram or 20 gram, I'm not a fan of transparent because if you scan it, it feels like it's not really white. But if you use a thin white paper, turn it around, and then from the other side you will have the fresh eye. Like I would give the sketch to you. You would say, look, you did this, did this. But I myself didn't see it because I was sketching like this. But if you turn it around, then you have the fresh view. This is what also would be my advice for Photoshop. If you do Photoshop, I always flip around to get again the fresh eye. This improved a lot, at least for me, and this would be one of my first advice for every student. Flip the canvas on the paper or also on Photoshop. And if you flip it and you see the mistakes, you can correct the mistakes and directly can do another proposal or can correct or try some new headlights or different air intake or different shoulders and stuff like that.
Totally agree, because I also say it many times on my channel, like for sketch the best thing is flip the paper, maybe put it on the light if it's thick, and then you will see the result.
Exactly.
But it's a great tip, and you also teach, right?
Yes, because car design is such a big passion for me. So even in my free time, and because I'm a good friend to Wickenheiser, that I'm saying, if you want me to help, sure, I will come. And then I give some advices for proportion, for wheelbase, how to improve or make the design a bit cleaner, to reduce some themes. But I'm always trying to improve the car, not to change the car. I'm just trying what is there and try to make it better. And it's great fun to see the students that they're getting better and better, and to see what is coming out in the end. It makes me also proud to see how they grow.
Are there already students that you were giving advice and they graduated and in the industry working now?
Yeah, sure, of course. There are many already successful designers, sure. Because I did this already for some years.
Okay. And that's what I like about actually Hochschule München. Like whenever I meet with people, it's like somehow different generations, even students or designers or even like design managers on different, they all know each other and still support, still like friends going for a drink, an alcoholic or alcoholic. And it's really nice to see that.
Yeah, I think probably it's on every design school, but my perspective is basically from the Munich one. But I think we have a really cool network, and we're also vibing a lot with the Pforzheim guys or anywhere on the planet. There are many students and we are still connected. So the car design world is in generally very small, and that's why you never should fuck up. So because if it's a small world, everyone knows everything, and always try to do or be a correct guy and don't do wrong things.
Well, that's actually great advice, because like we say portfolio, okay, you'll also come to this topic, but it's also important how you behave, how your relationships with other people. Basically, nobody wants an asshole to be in the studio working with them.
No, but there's a big friendship, and they're always very helpful to each other. So they're not hiding with some comment to improve. So if they see something on your sketch, they say, I do it like this, true. Even if you're in the same competition, it's always a very helpful colleagues, and this is what
it's kind of similar to the company.
Like true.
When you work also, at the end the goal is to make the project nice, even if there's a competition to select it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
A friendly competition.
This brings me to the portfolio topic. Like, okay, you gave the advice about the tools and like improving yourself on the basics, but when you receive a portfolio at Audi for internship or like personally you, what are the things you are looking for?
Well, like I said, the skills we always search in Audi is like cool hand sketches, Photoshops, and CAD. Okay. If one of these big three pillows is missing, it's like you need to be very high flying on one of the three things that you think that you can still live with the guy. And it also should be some kind of fresh, unique design, and how good he hit the brands he's sketching. Did he really hit a Mercedes, a Porsche, an Audi, and whatever kind of brand did he hit it? And can he do different styles, or is it always the same style? Does he just do sports car? So try to do in your portfolio any kind of cars, like limousine, SUV, sports car. Give a big bouquet of flowers to show, different designs, clean design, I'm not saying busy because busy is negative, but let's say expressive designs, clean designs, that you show that you can do all the variations, I would say.
Actually, about this, I'm curious. Like, there was a big discussion a couple months ago about the Jaguar, and you own an amazing Jaguar here. So, this concept, the new face, new language of Jaguar, I'm thinking myself, if I saw it on a student portfolio before Jaguar released something like that, I would be like, it's you lost it. Like, it's not fitting to Jaguar brand. So when as a student, when you do it, it wouldn't work probably, right? Like, be brave, but how brave do you think?
Well, first of all, I always appreciate the braveness. So, and I love the proportions of this car. And yeah, maybe you just need to look more often to understand more, but I really like it. Maybe it's a question if it's really Jaguar, or maybe then you're a bit old school if you just always want the same thing. So I love the proportion, and proportion is the first thing I would recognize in a car, and the proportion are awesome. So let's see it on the street, what will hit the street, and then I think it can be really cool.
Oh, I agree with that. Like, when you see a photo and when you see it in real life, it's all different story.
It's crazy. When, for example, came the new Ferrari 458, so long time ago, when this came out, I saw it on pictures and I thought, no, that's not gonna work. And then we were doing an R8, and we had the Ferrari as a comparison car in Audi. We couldn't drive it, but we could watch it. And then it was freshly came out, and then we went out and it was, wow, that's fantastic. It's light, it's modern, it's brave. There were so many cool elements, but on the pictures I didn't like it. But when I saw it in real, I completely loved it. So it's always a different thing if you see it on pictures and what is then in real there. Oh. Of course, a Ferrari with this kind of proportion is probably always cool, but like I said, even the headlights, these elements, they were all super cool.
You said you couldn't drive it, but could you listen it?
No, we didn't start it. It's also not nice to rev it if the engine is cold, so no.
Is it okay to ask you which cars you worked on at Audi?
Oh.
Or is it confidential?
No. I mean, I worked on almost every car, but not many came from my work. But I was participating on almost every kind of car, all in competition, and on some cars I was happy to be the last one, and in some cars, and most of them it would be hard to catch them all. But I was working on almost every kind of proportion and size.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
That's also great fun if you work for a company like Audi, because it doesn't matter on which car size you work, it's always a cool car, even an A1, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, it's all such a cool cars, it's always cool proportions, so it's a pleasure to work for kind of premium brand like Audi. Or Lamborghini is even more crazy. They always have huge wheels, low cars, low greenhouses, cool proportions. So it's really a dream. Yeah.
I did my, when I was doing my master's, we had collaboration with Lambo. And working on a Lambo, even as a student, on your own project, it was already something else. We did Audi and Lambo projects on my master's.
You see?
So I know what you mean actually.
Yeah, but I have to admit, because I worked, for example, on the A6, and this was my proposal, which was in the end hitting the street. And every time I see it, I think, oh, God bless, he has big wheels. When it has small wheels, I'm like, oh no, please change the wheel. But I'm always very happy when I see one car driving of them, for example. It makes me happy.
You are a big petrol head,
yes.
As we know from your cars. I mean, probably you would, as we said, listening a V8 would be probably like this song when we are sleeping, for babies. Is it mandatory to be a petrol head to be a car designer, do you think?
No, not a petrol head, but you should just love what you do. I think it's it doesn't matter which kind of business you're doing. If you love what you do, you will be successful. If you find out you're really good in making cakes, then don't do car design, do cakes. Or and some dentists you think he was hitting with the injection out of your cheek, and in some dentists you don't even feel that you got the injection. Or a guy who's putting the floor, if he loves his job, he will look that the shut lines will end perfectly on the corner, and the other guy is just knocking it in and wants money and wants to go. So every time, whatever you do, do it with love. And as soon as you love what you do, you will have success sooner or later.
Oh.
At least that's my romantic way of looking at it. Of course, you need to have talent, and you need to have passion, and also luck, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many talented guys and maybe not making it, so you also need to be at the right time, at the right place, and the right guy needs to see your sketches and says, yeah, this is how I see it, go for it. So believe in yourself.
I do, thank you.
Yeah, my advice to everyone, even to myself.
Of course.
I'm also full of self-doubt, and I would be probably much more successful if I would also believe more in myself, but I'm okay.
I know what you mean, and you are more than okay, but I know what you mean. I think it's important because if you, like, it's tough. It's not like, oh, okay, today I'm going to be confident, but if you don't believe it's possible, then you don't even push yourself.
Yes. Especially in design, you need to have a healthy mind to offer the whole package, because you need to sketch cool, you need to present cool, you need to be helpful to the other guys. It's not only that you can be good in one thing, you need to be good in a lot of areas.
Probably.
So, yeah, always go through the world with open eyes and learn wherever you can.
So you mentioned that being lucky is also important, like being on the right place, right time, let's say. And this, we also talked about without camera. What is more important? Okay, not what is more important, but let's say it this way. To get a job, it's very important to have a portfolio. But in my opinion, it's also very important to have a network. What do you think about this balance?
Well, if the portfolio is good, then the network doesn't matter so much. Because if the right guy sees the portfolio and you think, yeah, this guy, then you're there. It doesn't matter if someone knows you or not, I would say.
Of course.
We judge not by where is he from, is it a man or a girl or whatever. We judge by what we see and then say, yeah, this is the right guy. It doesn't matter if someone knows him or not.
No, that's great. I agree with that part. But you said if the right guy sees the portfolio to make it with, like, when I say network, I don't mean like getting a favor from someone to get a job, but more like I'm from Turkey, and if I applied a job directly from Turkey in Europe, it would be very, very more difficult because I didn't even know when I was a student where to send. I was like info@bmw.com.
That's a problem, but for example in Audi, you can only apply for jobs which are online.
Oh, okay.
So even if someone sends me a portfolio, I cannot go to the boss and say, look at this guy, this is awesome. It's every portfolio which comes to us needs to go online over this career portal.
Okay, so where is this portal? Like, how can people see that?
To go just on Audi website and then check for career and then check for the jobs for the position are open.
Okay.
And also the internships and the bachelor things is always open there. So, and we did exactly this because of the reason of the network. In the in the old days, so to say, you needed to know someone who can tell you the address to send to the right person. And now, to make it open for everyone, we have this online system. And I think every car brand now, or every big car brand, it has to do it probably in the same way.
Oh, that's pretty cool to hear, because I used to advise in the channel also, like, go to LinkedIn, type, for example, designer Audi, find everyone, send them your portfolio for example, not to get a job, but get a feedback. I think it still works, right?
Yeah, it still works, but it's also, if you think you're a designer, you're full of work, and then I'm not often on LinkedIn anyway, and then they send you 20 people sending their portfolio, like, oh my god, I need to do this, and you don't want to be impolite and not answer, but it's not easy to fulfill all these wishes. Yeah. So that's when I go to the design school Munich, then I prepared myself to be ready for the guys, and then they're showing me some portfolio, and then I'm like, yeah, sure, I watch it and give you some help, but if you get every day plenty of portfolios, I've been probably sending you a lot of stuff as well. So
I know about it.
Yeah.
No, it's hard. Like, sorry for anybody that I don't answer, and Helmut cannot too. But back in the day, it was easier. Honestly, when I was a student, it was less crowded online, and I was getting more feedback. I was lucky of that. That's even how I started my Instagram and everything, actually, and then it evolved into this. We already talked a little bit, but I'm curious if you want to say something more about AI in general. Do you experiment with it much? Or?
I do experiment. Till now, I never got the perfect result.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I got a really cool inspirational stuff or a basic where I could do Photoshop on top of it, which was helping me a lot. And I think in the future probably it's not taking the jobs away, but maybe it's taking the job away from the guy who's not using AI. It's maybe like using a calculator. You're good in math, and then one day someone invented the calculator, and it's a new step. You still need to be good with the numbers, but using the calculator is improving your work. Or a screwdriver, you can fix all the screws by hand, and then you know how much tension you give every screw, okay? But if you have to do it 30 times a day, then you're like... So it's still the work. You need to know how to use the screw and how angle you're putting up the screws, but with this it's much faster. So use the tool, but to use it proper, you need to have the skills like sketching, Photoshop, and also CAD program that you can use all these tools. But I think it's very impressive, also a bit scary, but also very impressive what it can do already now. And it's even more, frightening and also interesting what it can do in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years.
I was talking to Gergely from Viscom. You met him. Even he says that they don't know what will happen. For example, if you ask in 5 years what will happen, nobody knows. Even people who are developing the softwares.
The improvement of the last half year was already huge. Yeah. So think about what will be in the next half year, and then it's getting exponentially smarter. Also, this ChatGPT. If you have in your phone, you have a guy who has the knowledge of everything. It's crazy, it's scary, and you don't know in which direction it goes. So every time you speak with ChatGPT, try to be polite. You never know if one day they will rule the world. And then, do you know Rick and Morty?
You mentioned me.
But you've never seen?
I still didn't.
There's one episode where his dog is getting smart, and then the dogs are ruling the whole world. And one day AI will rule the world, and then they will remember, you were always asking nice stuff, like, hello, I have a question. Not like, hey, tell me blah, 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 blah. No, I don't know.
That's right. On this Rick and Morty, the dog took over the world.
Yes.
And was somebody kind at
and then
the dogs?
And then they were treating the humans like the humans were treating the dogs.
Aha, okay.
And because he was Morty was so nice to his dog, he was the only guy who was treated nicely by the dogs.
Yeah, that's a smart investment. But do you know that ChatGPT CEO or whoever recently released that just because of people say please and thank you, it costs millions to them because of the power of GPUs or whatever.
Oh really?
Yeah,
just being polite, costing extra energy.
Maybe it's worth.
I'm trying to invest into the future. Yeah.
Great. I want to jump into a session with you because I asked on Instagram if you have questions for Helmut. Okay. I don't know all the questions. There are quite a lot of them. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to answer, you can say skip. We don't have to be rushing.
Okay.
If you want to answer just yes or no, it's also fine. Or if you want to take your time, it's also great.
It depends on the question, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Wow, it's already 1:15 almost, so it's been a while. Alright, Instagram. When I don't use Instagram actively for a while, I immediately miss things, I lose things, how they work. Ooh, wait, while I'm doing this, when I met him, he asked me, and then I saw he asked the same question to some other people. You know what's coming? It's very tricky question. At first, when you say what you have in mind first, it's sounds okay. But then when you think more or see other people's answers, you are like, oh, actually, it's a good one. So, Helmut Jung, this is recorded. If you had only 3 cars for the rest of your life and you don't have a money limit, but you cannot sell those cars or trade those cars, what is your 3-car dream garage?
That's a good question. Where did you get that from?
Some maniac asked me.
To be honest, I was asking him this question, and then he was just answering 3 quite normal cars, and he felt so embarrassed or ashamed that he never thought about this. Okay,
Sure.
I will try to answer this question as good as I can from my current point of view. So I would choose a black Mercedes G63.
Specifically
It's
black.
and the car is so special to me because of the side pipes.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds stupid, but I love the V8 sound and I love side pipes, and this car would do everything I need. If we are 4 or 5 people, we can fit. It's a cool sound. You sit in like a boss. You have this vertical front screen. You're sitting really, and then the sound and the side pipe. Okay, yeah, G63 in black.
Which generation? Like the latest one?
The latest one, yeah, because it drives so much better, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Second car would be the scary one, Carrera GT.
Color?
Silver or black? Maybe silver.
And why? Why Carrera GT?
Because of the engine sound. This sound is giving me goosebumps. It's a hand shifter, it's tricky to drive, and it's probably the most awesome engine sound on this planet, and unique engine sound. Maybe one of the ugliest hand shifters ever with this wooden...
Really?
Yeah,
I love this thing.
Really?
I love this wooden shifter.
Really?
If my Cayman
Write in the
was
comments if you like that shifter or not.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay, yeah.
This, if I bought the Cayman manual, I was planning to switch. Like there are companies
No
like
way.
selling wooden.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Okay.
Interesting.
And my third
But
car...
you know, this wooden shifter is like inspired by the 970.
Really?
But
Okay.
it doesn't matter for you. It's ugly.
No.
So, yeah, okay.
It's not matching with the rest of the car, if you ask me.
I understand. The third car.
The third car is tricky. I swapped it several times, but I think I would go for a Huracan Spider with all-wheel drive. You can drive it in winter, in summer. You have an awesome sound, awesome look, convertible. Yeah,
All right.
this would be my daily.
Sure.
Yeah, these 3 cars.
The other day I was talking with the guys and I was thinking, yeah, what was Helmut's third car? I couldn't remember. Because
Yeah.
it's changing sometimes.
It's changing sometimes.
G63 and Carrera GT are generally there.
I mean, also for the third car, it could be cool to have an Audi RS7 or RS6. A car which does it all, sounds good, looks good, drives
Whatever
good.
I can.
Yeah, but in the Huracan it's just one space, one passenger, and you can put in the pizza and then the car is full, I guess. So.
True. That's why you have the GC. But anyway,
Yeah,
no
but-
judgment to your garage.
Yeah, I mean, what is
nobody-
your garage? What is your garage?
Yeah, so I will jump into the question. No, my garage would also have Carrera GT.
Ah, okay, interesting.
Come on, I'm a Porsche owner at the end.
yeah.
Then for SUV style, my first answer to him was something like
Porsche, but nothing wow. I mean, of course, wow cars,
it was
but
not.
Porsche Cayenne, Porsche 911 Turbo, and what was the third one?
Doesn't matter. But then he said, "Oh, your dream is like a average German guy and living in somewhere in Munich."
The golf club, Munich, guys.
No, I will think about my answers, but
Carrera GT, and what else? Which color Carrera GT?
probably silver because
Okay.
I had the toy of it when I was a child. I still have it.
It looks a bit like a stealth fighter in silver. But in black is also cool.
Yeah, also.
But I guess I would also go for silver. Yeah, okay, and which are the
That's
other?
a cool car. The other ones, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very late in the night for me to think about the other one.
You still didn't prepare it.
No, I always. But I just answered this question the other day. For the SUV off-road type, I wouldn't go with the G-Class. I also wouldn't go with the Cayenne anymore.
Urus?
Oh, Urus maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Urus, or maybe... Honestly, I like the way it looks, the Aston Martin DBX.
Really?
It looks nice.
Oh, that's surprising.
I mean, I don't know if it's reliable, or I wouldn't pick it for one of my cars, but I'm just saying it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Urus would be probably.
And third?
Third one would be also a probably sports car. Come on.
Still not prepared for the question.
No. I need to more think. They will hate me on my channel. They will like, are we following this guy? Am I subscribed to this guy who doesn't even know the third car?
I would also love to have a Ford GT, to be honest. But the second gen, so to say.
To me, like for example, my answer, like Carrera GT is already classic car.
True.
So it's okay from the old generation. I would get something new. I'm thinking about what cars are there now on the... Okay, you might say, what the... But... something like 991 GT3.
Yeah, why not?
It's more daily.
991 GT3 is a super nice car. I like it as well.
Still two Porsche in my garage, but
that's okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So you approve?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's your garage.
Yeah.
You can do in your garage whatever you want.
But neither of us put an electric car. And what do you think? There was this idea a couple years ago. We will go to full electric and we will never get, like it will be forbidden to... Is it still on? Do you know? Like in European Union, are they planning to ban gasoline cars?
2030 they plan to do it, but I think they switched this.
To more like hybrids or stuff, right? We will still hear some sound, hopefully.
We will find out. We will find out.
Because if not, with those two garages, we cannot drive.
Yeah. True. And I think they will not forbid the old cars probably, but they wanted to forbid that they're selling new petrol cars.
Okay, then we are safe.
But I think they've changed a bit.
We're gonna go to Instagram questions.
All right.
Let's see. I go to, wow, it says 50 responses.
Oh, okay.
I have to click them. Okay. When is the right time to apply for an internship while we are in our transportation design masters?
Well, the right time is when the jobs are online. It's quite simple.
That's good. Second question. Can we ask more wagons like RS4 or 6 or more rally style Audis?
I think there will come some cool stuff in the future. So you just need to wait. But yeah, as a designer, we always love the RS cars. And yeah, no worries. There will come some cool stuff. So.
All right. Because I think like in the past it was more wagons than SUVs. Now the SUVs are way more than wagons maybe. Like not only in Audi but in the market.
Wagons is limousine.
Like station wagon.
No, station wagon. Yeah. Sure, there's coming cool stuff.
Apostrophe design.
Oh,
Mark
this guy.
Zander. There are rumors that he owns a Fiat Multipla.
This rumor is wrong.
But there's no question anyway. He doesn't even know how to ask a question.
Oh.
Is Photoshop rendering on its way out because of tools like Viscom?
No, because you should use Viscom as a electric screwdriver, but not like this guy is doing everything for you. So please learn Photoshop first, and then use the helpful thing if you want.
Perfect. Somebody said, just I love it. I don't know if he loves you or she loves you or the Audi, but... What would you recommend an ambitious young man who dreams to become a designer?
Work a lot, be happy, and if you sketch a lot and you're frustrated, think about, would it be better to learn some text or some calculating numbers, or is it not cooler to sketch, be creative? So be humble and work a lot. It's everyone. I think we all can speak that we filled already a container with paper we threw away.
Oh yeah.
If I do a sketch and someone is asking how long took it, then I would say my age. It took me 41 years. I'm sketching so long, so put all your love and experience and never give up and believe in yourself.
Actually, when you mentioned the sketches, like what I did and what I would recommend is like, do the sketch, put it away, do another one, like rather than trying to make one perfect sketch.
Yes,
what do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, I will do the same, and then watch it 1 day later, 3 days later. Then you get the fresh eye again, and you think, "Oh yeah, this is a good idea," or "Jesus, what did I do today?" But mostly, I'm more self-critical in the first time, and then if I look several days later, I think like, "Oh, this is not so bad like I thought," and then and then I turn on, So I think it's always good to get a little distance from your stuff and then give it a new chance.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Love your work. Just want to say thank you. Beste Grüße aus Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg. Oh,
I don't know if it was to you or to me.
Oh.
There's a question like that. Does top colleges matters? Like even if it's 1% after graduation, will it help me getting into OEMs?
Does it matter? Does it matter? The top colleagues? Colleges. Okay. Yeah, that's what I said. If the portfolio is good, it doesn't matter where you studied and where you're from. If it's blowing you away, then it's blowing you away. So try to do a portfolio which offers a lot, but the worst sketch is always the one where you're judged. So ask people for the opinion, and if there's a sketch which is not really well received, then throw it out, even if you think it's cool. Believe on the people who are asking, and yeah.
But also depends on who you ask, I think.
Exactly.
Like when you ask your mom, and if she doesn't know car design, it might be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
But like, of course, there's not an exact perfect answer to that. But you said like a rich portfolio. What would be like? How many pages or how many projects do you think?
Also, this is also difficult to answer. Like I said, if you have some cool sketches, some cool Photoshops, and some cool CAD models, then it's enough to have just 10 pages. I don't know. If you offer 30 pages and only 10 are good, then I would say just show 10, you know? So just show the good stuff and don't put too much of mood boards and explanations. It is
boring.
I think it would be rough if the people see how we look at the portfolios. If you get the perspective of the people who are judging and looking at, they're opening it, and they're not reading the text, at least mostly. I'm sorry, it's heartbreaking, but we don't have the time. Maybe if we like a portfolio, then we go more deeper into it. But mostly we just look, okay, this sketches this thing. Oh yeah, this is cool. This is not so cool. And then we compare the portfolios with each other. So spend more time for sketches, Photoshops, and CAD, and less for mood boards and explanations, I would say.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It might sound harsh, but honestly, I also, when I see even a project in Behance, I just scroll.
Yeah.
Because I will understand when I see the car anyway. Like your market research, analysis. I'm not saying it's not important, but that's not what is expected from a young design student to when we are looking for a job, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, when I mentioned young, sometimes I get this question as well. Do you think the age matters when you want to be a car designer?
Also not really. If the portfolio is good, then it doesn't matter. But of course, if there's a super young person and we see there's potential in one of the 3 pillars I explained, and we also see how young this person is, then it's also a plus to have a young person for sure, because you think what might be if he gets more knowledge in the next years. Yeah. So I would say it doesn't matter, but also a bit. Yeah, of course. It's always a package. Even also sounds a bit, I don't want to be rude or something, but if there's a female designer, it's also a bit more interesting because they're super rare. Yeah. So my advice, if you're a female designer and think like, I'm not sure if I'm good enough, be brave, because it's super unique, and it also gives you a bit more extra, look, it's a cool portfolio. I know this portfolio and this portfolio is cool, but this is a female even. Maybe it could be also interesting to see it from a different perspective. And so I'm only saying, try it.
I agree. Like when I used to work and when I saw a pile of portfolios, I would be also like, if there's of course same quality, it's not like just because of somebody is female, a woman, I wouldn't just hire it because of that. But if it's same quality, it might be like, maybe someone with a different point of view, because it is different.
Absolutely. For example, in Audi, I think we're around 25, 30 exterior designers, and there's only 1 female. We had 2, but
that's a very big imbalance.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, as a female, if you give a lot of energy, then it might be successful.
Next question.
Please.
We have 40 something more.
Okay.
Okay, we can. Don't worry.
No.
Because some of them are probably not good questions. How tough is getting into brand like Audi as a studio engineer?
As a studio engineer, I mean, it is tough to get into Audi. It doesn't matter if it's a designer or a studio engineer. In the moment we are, let's say boarding is completed in the moment. So it's tough to get a job, especially in the current situation where no one knows what is coming in the next years. But like I say, never give up the hope and always put a good portfolio together. Even if as a studio engineer doesn't need to sketch probably, but try to have many skills as possible, and if the timing is right and you apply and go for it.
Next question.
Sure.
Will the AI completely be taking over the creativity of car design in the coming future?
Not completely, I would say, but it might be a tool to help for creativity or for doing jobs faster.
We already talked about it.
What do you think about this question?
I think it will be just a great tool to support,
Yes.
not like taking over, especially like as I'm representing Viscom on events like this car design event here. I know what's coming. I know the goal of the company, goal of the platform. So it's not to replace designers. It's to support them, and I think that's what will be. The good scenario would be having one tool for like doing everything, and that's kind of the vision behind Viscom, because like, yes, right now we need to also know Photoshop to know the basics and so on, but there might be a moment that a car design software, I'm not talking about A-class and production, but car designers for creative process, you can sketch, render, 3D model, 3D generate, edit it, get good animations and renders in one software. This would be cool, and but I don't think it will be like, okay, now we don't need designers. I have clients, freelance clients, who try AI themselves. Like they want to make a car and they say, oh, okay, I can do it with AI, and of course it doesn't work because you don't have the experience, the eye, the training, the years of practice. So they need at the end professional to use the AI. So that's what I think.
As a little commercial help for your Viscom work, what I like on Viscom is that you're part of the journey. You do a sketch, it's your design, and then you get the help of this program. On mid-journey, it feels, at least what I developed so far, I'm not so professional in this thing, you are just pushing the button and you get what you get, and you can influence a bit, but somehow it's difficult to get a result. But on mid-journey, you give the sketch, and then it's transformed into something which makes you being part of it, and that's what I like.
Viscom.
Yes.
Not mid-journey.
Yeah.
You just said mid-journey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's good that, for example, you are up to date. There are many professionals, because of their busy all day, they are not up to date with new tools. Maybe thanks to the workshops we did with.
Yes. That's why I like to go to the school. It's inspiring and gives you new stuff. You're always on the latest stuff to learn there.
So if you are a professional designer and if you need a workshop in the company, you can also tell me. Little addition. So next, what work gets selected at a corporate firm? Is it more emotion driven or practical?
Well, it depends on the project and what's the biggest thing to solve. But I think in design it's more emotional. I mean, of course you need to be on package, but if it's a cool emotional design, then even the boss says, yeah, maybe it's off package, but let's try to bring it on package. So I would answer this question with more emotional, especially in design.
Perfect. Why did they change the steering wheel logo and deleted the metal? I'm not sure what is it about.
Steering wheel logo and deleted the metal. That's an interior question. I'm an exterior guy. Yeah, sometimes I don't know why we need to have new logos or change things. I'm a bit old school and classic. I also like the metal rings on the steering wheel. To be honest, I don't know what is exactly meant with this question, but
I need to check.
I guess I agree that I would also prefer the metal rings.
Yeah, it's super classic and nice.
Yeah.
What is the current state of transportation design, TD design? I'm not exactly sure what this means. Is it worth it because it's very expensive to get a degree? I guess degree means degree. we
How
can
is
skip.
the current
If it's
state
not
of
clean, we can
transportation
skip.
design? Is it worth it because it's very expensive to get a degree or well, also this depends on your passion, I would say. If you really love this work or if you feel it's calling you, then you should do it. And if you think it's not worth it, then don't do it. Then go for something else. If you're a good musician, then go for music. If you think you want to do car design, then there's no doubt about if it's worth it or not.
I think so. You live only once, and
Yes.
it's a beautiful profession.
And luck is not that you do what you like; it's that you like what you do.
Yeah. Deep. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I was just not totally sure about the question, but
Yeah.
you seem to got it. The automotive sector is in crisis. What is the role of car designers today?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're all trying to find out in which direction it goes. One thing is saving money. For example, when I did the A6, we managed to carry over for the first time in Audi that we have the same rear light on the limousine and on the Avant.
Oh, okay.
And we were saving a lot of money because lights are one of the most expensive parts in the car and there's a lot of expensive development inside the lights.
Mm-hmm.
On the rear lights I'm talking now. On the front lights they're anyway carry over. But we managed to save a lot of money with this trick, and somehow in the past the people didn't really recognize that the Avant and the limousine has kind of a different design. So with some tricks you can help the company to save a lot of money, and you can still do good design. Of course, as a designer you always want to make the cars look as different as possible, but if you save with a trick a lot of money, then especially in crisis times it's a really helpful thing. And also if you can find some reasons for your design why it's better, like it's aerodynamic. Mostly aerodynamic is not looking good, to be honest. But if you find cool tricks, like an air curtain, a bigger air curtain is, for example, this little opening on the front, on the side of the air intakes, and then let out the air on the opening of the wheel arches. So every time you see a little slot on the wheel arch, you know it's an air curtain.
Okay.
You know, and this is good for the aerodynamic. And then we thought, make it big, big, big. But if it's big, the air is not going through. So you need to find out with the aerodynamic guys how big the opening has to be, that it's really efficient. But then you have a better flow around the front wheel, which is quite interesting stuff.
Right.
So in crisis times, it's good to do design where you can save money and also be fuel efficient, probably, to give a reason why people should buy this car. Or also for electric cars, if they have a better range than if they're good in aerodynamic.
Well, that's also like the very good little summary for the difference of design and only styling. You think about the reasons, and this is more like the design, and styling is more like just visual, I would say.
Yes. And if you're kind of a deep diving design passion people, how to say? I mean, it's not petrol. If I'm a petrol head, but also for electric heads, it's good to have an efficient car, like aerodynamic wise.
No, of course.
So, and if you love what you do, you also dive into aerodynamics, not only in how the car is appealing, you also go for these details. Also in rim design, if you find a rim which is a bit more closed, especially on the outer part, you will also have a better aerodynamic.
Actually, like when I hear the aerodynamic, let's not dive into it too much, but it's like two categories for me. One is like efficiency, the drag efficiency, and the second one is the downforce, mostly, like we talk about this too. Because sometimes I see, like there was Tesla semi-truck is more aerodynamic than a Bugatti Chiron. It's not that aerodynamic, like put them on the track and you will see which one is more downforce. And so like you don't have to know everything technical when you are a junior designer or a student, of course, but it's good to know the difference a little bit, I would say.
And I also get a lot of inspiration from race cars, especially because I'm such an addicted guy. But also some race cars have cool solutions for airflow or for some cool shapes in some cars, so it can be inspiring as well.
Perfect. How is Blender shaping the car design industry in big design centers like Audi, Mercedes, BMW?
I mean, I only have the perspective from Audi, but we are losing a lot. We are using a lot of Blender, and it's very impressive how quick you get cool results.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the best in Blender, but I'm also not the worst. I would say in 3 days I can have my sketch as a 3D model, and then in 1 week I'm already having a really refined one in a nice environment, and I have a turntable, which is super impressive. So this is it's improving a lot, and it's also quite scary how quick and what kind of results you can have in such a short time. Yeah.
Totally
So the influence is very big.
Which car from past is your favorite?
Lamborghini Countach LP500.
Oh, but it's not on your dream garage.
Yeah, because probably it's not driving so crazy. But if I just see the exterior design, then it's this. And it's also hard to believe if you see the Lamborghini Miura, which is, I think, voted for the most beautiful car on this earth. I like it, but if you see then the Countach afterwards, it's like a spaceship landed on this planet. It's like it's so much ahead. It's so clean, unique shapes. For me, it's the best car if you think about the time when it has been done.
So I think on your dream garage, you would park the three of them that you mentioned before, and on this big space, you would have the sculpture of exterior of Countach and Miura together.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right. Please, without dodging the issue, how they valued portfolio for the internship. You already explained.
Okay, good.
I think. So we'll go back a little bit in this video and watch it again if you didn't. Is it still possible to find a position as a trainee in a car design studio? I guess it means internship.
Yeah, but trainee is kind of your part in the company, and then you're back in school, right?
I don't know honestly.
I think so. And I didn't saw this in a design studio. I just saw internships, bachelor thesis, and now for a very first time we have also how is it called, student working person. Okay. But this is super rare, and trainee I've never seen in a car design studio.
Okay. What is more important to be good in, sketching on paper or digital renderings?
Maybe now sketching on paper, because digital renderings you have some interesting help now. But both are very important. So
I agree. The idea, I would say.
Exactly.
As a design student from non-European country, what is the best way to get an opportunity in Audi?
Do a good portfolio.
I am product design student currently, and my dream is to be an automobile designer. How to be one?
Do a good portfolio.
Totally agree.
Yeah, sketch cars.
That's the answer.
And don't be disappointed if it's not working from the beginning, because sketching a car is taking a lot of energy, proportion, wheel arches, wheel sizes, bases. It is so many ingredients to do a nice sketch. You will not do it on the first day. You will need to fill a container with shitty sketches until you reach a good level. Don't be disappointed if it's not going from the beginning.
How much do you get? How is the work culture at Audi for designers? Do you like working there?
How much do I get? He means money-wise.
They ask me multiple
How
times.
is the work culture at Audi for designers? Do you like working there? Yeah, I like working there. We have a cool team spirit, I would say. And of course, it's a competition, but we're also very helpful to each other. And I like the culture in Audi, and I like to be there especially. And it's great fun to be part of this era.
That's great to hear. Share your journey. Where did you start? What companies did you go through, if any? How did you start in Audi?
Okay, yeah, I can share my journey. I was studying in... So my pre-internship I did at Luigi Colani in Karlsruhe.
Okay.
Then I was studying in design school Munich for 4 years, from 2006 till 2010. And I did an internship in BMW. Then I did an internship at Audi. Then I did a bachelor thesis in Audi. And then I worked in Audi since 2010. And then I went for Lamborghini. And then I went back last year to Audi. And yeah, it is a cool journey, let's say it like that.
The same person has 3 more questions.
Okay, it's no problem.
So I'm just shooting them. How are you liking your current work-life balance while working as a car designer at Audi?
Well, yeah, the work-life balance is quite good in Audi, I would say. We can do partly home office. It depends on the project, how much you need to be on the car, or if you're not having a car, you can sketch a lot, and then it's a nice work-life balance in the moment. And yeah, I think that's a big advantage of this kind of brand of company.
Quick question from me. What do you think about working from home and studio?
Studio?
Yeah, like work from home. Do you
Yeah,
like
I think, it needs to find the right balance. If you just work from home, it's not good. If you just work in studio, it's okay. But sometimes for me, it's good also to work at home, because I can put my music. I like sketching at night, or at least say a bit when later. So probably it's not well seen, but yeah, I like to being creative when I'm feeling the most creative time. So it gives you more freedom. Sometimes I found myself that I work more in home office than in the studio. But being in the studio is very important, to speak with the colleagues, getting the vibe of other stuff, seeing what the colleague is doing and getting inspired by each other, and listening to the boss is quicker than calling him. And and if he's there, he gives you a better advice than just over the Teams. Yeah. So I think everyone needs to find the right balance. It's better to be more in the studio than more at home. But if you're at home, find the right balance between both worlds.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Like you said, you sometimes like to sketch late in the night, and it's like 1:48 now. So I will shoot questions more.
Yes, go for it.
But if you feel tired, we can...
No, it's okay.
Did you always want to get in this field?
Yes.
All right.
Since the age of 6, I would say. I was already sketching... it sounds a bit strange. I was sketching tanks and planes and stuff like that, because we got from the military a little brochure, and I was going around, and then I was already sketching this in kindergarten. Probably this...
sketching tanks in the kindergarten?
Yeah, it felt like a bit weird, but yeah. I always loved cars, and then I was starting sketching cars, and I was asking my dad, what is kind of this profession called, to do just cars, doing cars? And he said, car designer. And when I was in kindergarten, I said, I want to become a car designer. And no one knew what this is, so yeah. Because he's an architect, so he told me he's a car designer, so yeah.
I love your answer, because the next question was, at what age did you get serious about this passion?
Minimum 6 years old. And when we drove with a car somewhere, I always remembered when we drove back, look, the Mercedes 190 is still standing there, and there's still this Audi 80 there, and there's the BMW M3 still parked there with this kind of wheels. So I always remembered the places still by the cars were parked there. And if you would have, I could go for Wetten das. If they would have shown me a part of a headlight or a fender, I could directly tell you which car it is. Nowadays, there are so many more cars, new car brands, new extra little pieces. I have much more trouble. But when I was young, I could tell you with 100%, only showing me a little area of a car, and I would tell you which car.
I'm happy to hear that, because I feel the same. Nowadays, I kind of lost it, and I was curious if it's me or the industry, or it's just too many brands, or what?
I think it's too many brands, but also maybe if we're getting old, maybe we're a bit stuck in the old world. Yeah. Because I'm a huge Formula 1 fan. Since '94, I watch every Formula 1 race. And I was fanatic about this area, 94 till 2005 or something, really watching almost every race. And when I talked with older people, they said, I don't watch Formula 1 anymore. I watch the Senna, Mansell, Prost battles and stuff like that, or Piquet. this is not cool anymore. And now I'm sitting here and still watching every Formula One race, but I think like, the cool old days with Häkkinen and Schumacher and all these guys was so much better, or with Damon Hill and stuff like that. And I feel also like I'm getting old and liking more the old stuff.
This
so.
thing you mentioned about Formula One, about cars, sometimes I observe people have this idea as well, like.
And now when I speak with the interns, they say, wow, Formula One is so cool and it looks so cool. And I think like, no, the halo looks not good and they look like Formula E with his wings and stuff like that. Compare it with the 2000 generation with the V10s where the car were dynamic and loud and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like I'm also a bit kind of old generation already. But still I appreciate, especially Formula One season 2021, Verstappen against Hamilton was one of the most craziest seasons I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said, looks like Formula E. I know that you are not the biggest fan of electric cars anyway. As we mentioned what cars you own, I think they understood already.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks like the e-mobility is the future because it's so much more efficient. And I would be stupid to say, this is everything, not what I want. I mean, I'm a passionate guy and I love the sound. Even if an electric car is much quicker in acceleration and stuff like that, and also performance because of the low point of gravity, it's crazy what you can do with an electric car. But I miss the sound, the emotion of the sound. And I think if one brand is finding a cool way of giving an electric sound to it, then it's not like maybe there's someone who finds a cool way of showing an electric sound. Maybe then I will directly from one day to another be completely in.
You will not completely change from one day to another.
You never know. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, would I ever be vegan or vegetarian, I would say like, no way. And now I'm sitting here trying to find vegetarian stuff. So never say never. And I think if someone finds a cool way for a sound, I might be changing my mind quite quickly.
Well, I hope not. Because I love the sound of your cars. Yeah. And what advice or recommendations gives to a car designer who is at the beginning of his career?
Yeah, don't get frustrated if it's not working from the first thing. If you like sketching cars, go for it and fight for it. And you need to have a strong will and not give up too early. Yeah. And sketch a lot, Photoshop a lot, and build in CAD. Yeah.
When are we going to see revolutionary change in design of Audi's body? It's kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can even answer.
I mean, I don't need to answer. I know that there's coming cool stuff in the future. I can't wait to see the people's face when these cars are hitting the street.
Oh, it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Is Blender enough as a 3D tool, or we need to learn Alias and other softwares? No, of portfolio. What? On portfolio projects, I guess.
Okay. I mean, if you can do Blender, for Audi it would be in the moment enough. Mm-hmm. If you can just do Alias, it would be also enough. I think it's important to be good in one, and maybe if you can handle the second one, it will be helpful. But if you just go for Blender, it would be enough in Audi.
Okay.
Current status.
Are they hiring juniors at the moment?
Hiring for jobs, sadly to say no. It can change quickly. We are living in a very dynamic world in the moment. And if the sales are going up, then maybe we're hiring, but not in the moment.
Any interior design opportunities in Audi for graduated students from SPD?
Graduated, so they're ready for a job, right?
They finished their school.
Yeah, it's the same in interior, I guess, as well. But always check the career online pages. Yeah. Maybe sometimes there is something. But I think in the moment, boarding is completed, to be honest.
I'm in first year of my design college. What things should I focus on more to get transportation?
Good for design. Transportation design.
I'm sorry, I will just say something.
Yes.
Like, I'm a little bit triggered because when I was younger and if I was able to ask a question to an Audi designer, I would spend a bit of time on my spelling the message. Like, I don't know if you are in rush, just a general thing, because pay attention to your, like, pay more attention to where you interact. The first impression is important. I just
True.
wanted to mention.
Yeah. Also, if you send a portfolio, the first impression, or if you meet a person, the first impression is the first impression. Fully agree on that. And I think we answered this question already several times.
I agree.
Sketch a lot, Photoshop a lot, and build a lot in CD.
Oh. Sorry that the same person just fixed the message and sent it again on the next one.
Okay.
Okay, sorry for my little, but yeah, you got the point. Designers are made or born with?
I would say it's kind of both. And some designers are born with kind of a talent to be a designer, and some people have more the strong will to get into it. And if you are just a space kid doing some fancy things which will be not possible to build, it's not as helpful as if you have a strong will and soak up everything you get told. So maybe it's a mixture of both, and I wouldn't say it needs to be one or the other, to be honest.
Cool. How hard it is to get into the auto design industry after a degree from design school? I think
It is hard. It is hard. We get many good portfolios. Find a good style, find a good design, hitting the brands, and have some luck. It's tough, but it is like that.
If at Audi I sent my portfolio without any Audi project, does it matter?
I would say yes. I mean, if it's a cool portfolio, then it doesn't need to have an Audi, but it would, from my point of view, it would be a bit respectless if you say you want to work for this brand and don't even having offered sketches for this kind of brand. So if the portfolio is stunning and outstanding, it will work. But for me, it's kind of respectless if it's not even proposed something for the brand.
No, I agree. I heard this when I was a student. I sent my portfolio to a designer from Jaguar, Land Rover. Jaguar Land Rover. And the designer told me, yeah, nice portfolio, cool stuff, but it's better if you have a Land Rover project before I show it to my manager. And because it makes total sense. You are talking like, because there's a letter in your portfolio saying that I want to work with your company, but I never sketched.
And it feels like you're lying, because if you would really want to work for this company, then you would have already thought about a lot, even if it's just sketches. But at least you thought about your vision for the brand. And not only saying, I would love to work for your brand, but somehow I have never done something.
Yeah, I agree. What is his outlook regarding interior design and constant digitalization and screenification?
What is his outlook?
I think, like, what is your opinion on the digitals and screens on the interior?
On the one hand, I think it's kind of cool to have this monitors there, but for me, I'm more an old school driving person, and if I need to push 10 buttons till I just change the air fan or the temperature or the radio channels, it is more kind of dangerous, especially if you go for a rental car, which you're not so used to anymore for this kind of brand. Every brand is doing it different. Yes. So on some parts I think it makes sense, and in some parts I wish me back the buttons to make a quicker change for stuff I need quickly.
I agree. Like, my Peugeot is a bit more digital, but still there's physical buttons. But on Cayman everything is like very simple.
Yes.
And I like that.
Louder, lighter, and then
you don't search.
Yes, temperature up, down, fan up, down. Special
question from a special friend of mine.
Oha.
She is asking how Helmut deals with changing the winter-summer tires in over 1,000 Hot Wheels. You have 1,000 Hot Wheels, right?
I think so, yeah, but they're not all unpacked. So
so you don't need to change.
I would say unpacked I have around 300.
Oh.
And packed I have probably 600-700. It's a strange addiction. Yeah, I know it's stupid, but if I see something like for €1 or €1.50 and I think it's cool, I can't leave it there. And the problem is, if I see a cool car 4 or 5 times, then I buy it 4 or 5 times, and I know if someone appreciates of my colleague, or if I also bought some stuff for you, I think, this I will give this guy, and this I will bring to Berg, and this I will. It gives me a bit pleasure to do also nice things for colleagues, and it's not like it's super expensive. It's €1.50, nothing big. And then if some cars are so tempting to unpack them, and then I have them on my desk, and like, cool. So it's a cool joy for not much money. But if you calculate 1,000 cars, if it would be all cheap, it would be €1,000.
Yeah, but it's not all cheap anyway.
Yeah, and
the effort behind it is, I think, important, because it's not like you just go pay and buy. It's like you need to find them. And
but I could sell some now for much more money, like for €5 or €10.
It's big.
So it's a big business. So, but this question, changing the summer and the winter tires, it's not necessary on Hot Wheels.
Yeah, why not?
But because they will never hit the street, so they always have summer tires. But on some Hot Wheels, I already changed the tires, but it was so much effort.
You actually did that?
Just 2 or 3 times.
To paint the body also?
I never did that. This is
you
no.
Did.
On the Jaguar I made it black here, so I did it also. But I'm trying to be not such a super nerd, so I'm not doing it.
But to update you with your own numbers, when we met, like more than 1.5 years ago, I would say, you said 1,000 on that time, and I see you are still buying like.
Yeah. So maybe it's 1,100. Yeah.
Does he think there are more automotive designers than the industry needs? Ooh, good question.
Boah, that's tough. I mean, probably yeah. Probably yeah. There are so many more automotive designers, so that's why it's even harder to get a job. And but somehow everyone finds his way to get a job in the car industry. Even on people where I thought, this might get difficult, they also managed to find their way to get a job in the car industry. So the good thing is, with this electrification and also this autonomous driving, there's so many more needs in the car, that even if you're not being an exterior designer or interior designer, there's a lot of fields where you can find your way. So
and it can be also like animation expert, visualization.
Exactly.
There's a very talented guy that
Exactly.
from the last time degree show, you remember? I don't remember
Yes.
his name, but it was very nice visualizations, and he went to visualization team of Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. And then if this guy has anyway a good feeling for car design, then you don't need to tell him the best angle of the car, because he has already a good feeling for it, and he knows which kind of which Brennweite, what is it? Which kind of focus length he should use, and which kind of perspective he should use, that the car looks good.
I was thinking about his name. I think Niklas.
Yeah. So
any trends coming up in this or next year? You mentioned briefly.
Yeah, I mean, trends are always a bit difficult, because you never know how long they are going. When you work on a car, it takes minimum 2 to 4 years till it hit the street. So if you're following a current trend, you never know if it will be still in a trend the next years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And also trends are like, you cannot just set a trend. It doesn't
Exactly.
work.
Do an icon now.
I love this one.
Oh, horrible.
Design an iconic car. It was actually a very good discussion during the car design event. I unfortunately don't remember exactly who was it, but one of the design managers were talking about it. It's just so stupid brief to say, do the next iconic car.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's tough. So upcoming trends, they're always upcoming trends. But try to find something which is not a fashion. Try to find something which is have a long lifetime, which looks long time good.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Hi sir, my question to Mr. Helmut. What's first core skill does audio?
Audio?
HR sees in press. Would you like to skip?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, sorry. Do you think architecture and car design skills can be very transferable?
Absolutely, yeah, sure. Architecture is also, they have a super clean way and interesting way of surfacing, and this can be inspirational for cars and the other way around probably as well. So it definitely can influence each other.
And I think I know more than one people that studied first architecture then became car designers.
Yes,
So.
fully agree.
Is he happy with the way the interior look on the new models?
Yeah, sure. I'm not a fan of these huge screens, but that's my personal opinion. And also not searching for too long for the function, but in generally, I think interior design is super improving like exterior design. So.
What is a key element of having in a great portfolio to stand out?
I think we answered this several times. Huh?
I agree. What do you think the most difficult angle to design, draw?
Do you think is the most difficult angle to design, draw? Probably some crazy fisheye perspective, and when the wheels are, the more fisheye and it will be difficult to sketch. I like mostly to sketch on an eye level, where you not have so many perspective problems. So I would recommend eye level perspective and not a lot of angle like this and a lot of fisheye.
Yeah. Honestly, like if it's, of course, for a beginner, it can be difficult to sketch any angle, but the whole point is you will have like 4 or 5 different angles, you master it, and you will always use more or less the same if there's no extreme specific. If you are not focusing on a specific detail, we all have like signature angles, let's say, and you use the same one.
And a good advice we didn't spoke about is using underlays.
Yeah.
Using a sketch from a professional designer and then sketch over it. Maybe you sketch completely the lines and then maybe you just take the wheels and...
What do you think is the most difficult angle we did?
Yes.
So, after a little technical break, it's 2:40 a.m.
Wow.
And you will need to wake up at 6.
Let's see,
Next question then. My name is Aryan, I'm 18 years old. Can I send you my sketches, please? I hope you will like them. Don't feel pressure. Don't feel pressure, I know. We answered this. It's hard to...
Yes, exactly.
Sorry. Yeah. But I have a lot of subscribers' sketches review videos. So you can watch them and I'm sure you will find something similar to your mistakes and it will help. There are quite a lot of videos in my channel. What are the design treatment and theme for EV cars of Audi? WRTOIC, I think it's like versus the ICE cars.
ICE engine cars. Combustion.
Yeah, internal combustion engine. But like, what's the difference of EV versus?
That's a question of the future. We will find out. In the moment, we were trying to show the electric components, or that the car is electric, with different rockers, different elements in the car. The question is how much it will be in the future. Something special to show if it's electric or not. We need to find out. For example, the Prius. The very first Prius was quite a strange car, but the last one, the current one, is super nice.
Yeah.
So they really found their way. And I think an electric car maybe shows a bit more aerodynamics because of the better range. So let's see if an electric car will be more aerodynamic driven or if you find another way of showing the new way of engine.
Cool. I agree. And this same person asked 3 questions, so I'm shooting. Of all the cars Helmut designed, what would Helmut say in his most prized design?
The most prized design? Well, I'm most proud, I'm probably on the TT Club Sport Turbo, this concept car for Wörthersee. Normally a concept car will be not shown anymore after a certain time, but this car is still driving around.
Wow.
Occasionally on some quattro events or some stuff like that. So every time I see the car, I feel like, wow, yeah, that was cool. I mean, it is a TT, based on a TT, but it has some cool fender themes. It looks like a little R8. And we were planning to do this for a road legal version, but then the Dieselgate came, and then we had different priorities than bringing this car to real. But yeah, I'm really proud on this car. Of course, I'm also mostly proud on the A6 because it's a very important car for the brand. But personally, the most fun car was the TT Club Sport 2, I would say.
I had to check that. What year is it?
2014?
Okay.
No, 15. 2015.
Okay. I will check that one.
Mm-hmm.
Where and how does Helmut get his inspirations for his designs?
Yeah, everyone does get differently inspired. I mean, like I said before, I need good music. Then I'm getting into a vibe where I don't think too much. Inspiration-wise, I get a lot of inspiration from the internet, from other concept cars, from architecture, from planes, from race cars, and also from nature. It's just how you see the world with open eyes, and then you can get inspired everywhere you want.
Yeah.
So, but mostly I would say music is the biggest factor for me to going into this special place. How about you? Where do you get your inspiration?
I would say similar. Like it's other fields definitely affect. Like checking the concept art, concept vehicles. Sometimes movies. I like movies. Like I used to watch more even Marvel movies and stuff like that. Like Iron Man suit was a big trend for a while. Like it's interesting. And sometimes I like to create my own inspiration through AI.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say I'm lost in a project, and rather than going through Pinterest and Behance to find something, you can really scribble your something, and a doodle. It doesn't need to be a car. I will actually make a video about it. It can be like a sculpture or very simple silhouette, and put it into AI, Viscom, and just give Viscom freedom and generate ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them really end up inspiring, I would say.
Yeah, true. AI can also be inspiration.
What is the mindset when it comes to designing a car, generally speaking, regardless of car type?
Well, I would say it depends on which car brand you're working. Of course, history should be also, or at least you should know what makes an Audi, a BMW, or a Mercedes.
Yeah.
You should know the history of the brand, and then interpret your own vision for the brand and reinterpret some parts from the past and bring something crazy, funky, new inside to the game. But yeah, that would be the main thing. It should be still hitting the brand, but also breaking the barriers to do something new.
Before I jump into other batch, question from me is, projects you worked over the years, are they mostly you get a package and build on top of it, or you start from like blank sheet of paper, like you go crazy type of things?
We always get a package for every project. I mean, a blank piece of paper we always have as well, but it starts with a sketch where you don't have a package, but then you will find a way how to bring this design on a package. In the end, if you work in the car industry, it should be a car which is really working. Even for a concept car and a vision car, it still should be believable that some people can fit in the car and it's driving. Yeah.
I agree. I can make 3D models well of cars, but I can make 3D. You can't read it. Can't sketch well. Will it affect me in my career as a car designer?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it starts with a sketch and not with a 3D model. And yeah, you should go for your vision first with a sketch. So I always say improve there where you're the weakest. So then I would give you the advice, sketch more, and then try to hit the sketch on a 3D model.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good that you're already good in 3D models. I mean, it's a good base.
I would like to add also this, like if you mean that you do the 3D models of existing cars, I would say it's definitely not the same thing. Also, while sketching, for learning, maybe sketch existing cars, but important thing is to sketching your own ideas and 3D modeling your own ideas. So I just wanted to add that.
Mm-hmm.
Do they like Audi logo but 000 type of the new logo? I guess, right? Ah, no, the new logo is Audi font. Sorry. So do they, Audi, need some AI experts?
We always need experts, so you never know. I mean, if there's a job on the online platform, apply for it. Yeah.
All right. Oof.
How is it to work for Mr. Better than yeah, it is. It is an interesting era, and I like to work for him.
Yes, I'm French and I need a stage. I can send him my application file.
Please don't send me an application. Just send applications online for
As we
jobs.
mentioned. Are they hiring juniors? I think the same person
Yeah.
asked the same question before. So, design internship possible? I studied design mobility in Hof University.
Sure. Internship, as soon as they're online on our website, you can apply and do a cool portfolio, and then we're gonna see each other.
Can you please check my DM? Maybe it's for me, but I'm sorry. I might really miss messages, especially during an event like we just had. I really don't check my phone often. How is the life of an automotive designer at Audi or General too? I would like you to also mention about your personal life a bit when it's like the life work balance. So.
Yeah. I mean, as a student, it was always you were always not having a lot of money, and you could not drive the cars you want. But when you are a car designer, you're earning a good money, not super high, but also not too low, so you can afford buying a Porsche or a Jaguar or whatever you want. So the life is getting better the more you work, and you don't take the work anymore at home so much. I would say you do the work from the working time from 9 till 5 or 6 o'clock, and then you go home, and then you have a complete free life, which is changing completely. As a student, you work at the company and at home. So I would say the life as a car designer is beautiful, because from then on, when you are in a car company, you have more time for yourself, and you have more money than before to afford your car dreams or whatever is your dream which you want to fulfill. And it's also cool because at work you're together with people who have the same mental issues like you have, just cars. For example, we're going once a year for Dolomites, driving up and down the hills, having fun. So I would say life is good when you're there.
I just have to mention that in Germany, my observation is it's better than, for example, Italy. About money I'm talking about, because it's a topic too that we need to cover. I started my career in Italy, and I wouldn't say that you can buy a Jag or Porsche starting your career in Italy, my experience, or what I heard from many people. But location-wise, it's important. Like you are in Munich, so it's easier because also personal life. Like when I had my current wife back in time, my girlfriend, we had to be separated because I used to work at Zelamse in Austria, and there was no job possibility for her about her field, so we had to be distance relationship for a while. In Munich, I guess, like, do you have a wife or children?
Nothing.
So it's location is important. That's my point. Like probably it's easier to find a good relationship in Munich compared to end of the world in a village, even if it's a nice company.
True.
Does design schools matter if you are applying job? Answered.
No, portfolio matters.
Why did Jaguar do this? We also answered that.
Yeah, like I said, wait till we see it on the street, but I like the proportion and I like to be brave. So, let's see.
Where are you, sir?
In Munich.
How is the tooth, lol?
How's the tooth? Ah, Well, I hope tomorrow it's fixed again. Your chocolate was destroying my tooth.
Yeah, it's like Vio, let's say, right? Let's
Yeah.
not give the full name.
Yeah.
But we get a little incident that while eating a delicious chocolate,
And playing Uno.
yeah, we lost a piece of the tooth. All right, I think the questions from Instagram are also done. We are at 2:55 a.m. My friend, it's a super pleasure each time when I meet you. I know it's
Same
a little
for
bit
me.
of bad luck me coming to Munich. Let's not dive into it,
Yeah.
like the tooth incident. But it's amazing meeting you since 1.5 years, and I would like to say thank you because I know you mentioned me to Dr. Wickenheiser for first invite. It was a big impact, and it honestly changed my life in a way, because before that it was more online, everything just the camera and me, but now I meet people like yourself and having super fun, getting this thing for buying the sports car finally after you gave me a ride with this thing. Oh, actually, you remember when we went to the drive, you asked me before, what's your top speed you ever made? And I said, I don't know, 220 or something. You were like, yeah, okay, we will test that. And we just jump into car, and in, I don't know, in a couple minutes, when we hit the highway, you were like, with this top open, roof open. It was like 250, 260, 270. It was going more, but there was other cars or stuff, so you didn't go further. But I did it 270 myself recently on the Cayman, a little bit downhill on the Autobahn. But what's your top speed with any of the cars you owned?
I had a Viper SRT10, and I was driving open over 300, something like 305, 310. Everything is vibrating, shaking, and I was like almost holding my glasses, like, oh my god, oh my god. So yeah, open with the Viper is quite an experience.
Over 300.
But it's cool. It makes you feel alive.
You can't beat that. It's super crazy. But yeah, I was saying thanks a lot, and I'm 1000% sure that I will see him again. And if you will have more questions, I think he seemed to be enjoyed. If he stayed until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So just shoot your questions on the comments, and next time we can do another one.
Sure. It's also always a pleasure for me to meet you. We matched from the beginning. We were vibing. I wish you would be a nice lady and.
Well, we are in my hotel room, but let's not go that far.
Yeah, we matched from the beginning, and it's always a pleasure to have you here. And I'm so sorry to influence you buying a sports car. And
please don't be sorry for me.
And yeah, it's always great to connect you with even more designers, and everyone is vibing with you as well. So it's a perfect match, and I'm always enjoying when you're here. And I hope you come more often to Munich.
Sure.
Yeah.
Another thing, actually, I will mention quickly is before meeting in person with you and the other designers in the school, as I said, it was only the camera, and I always thought they are like the beginners, students who are learning the basics. But then I realized some professionals are aware of me. I was like, wow, that changed my mindset about YouTube and stuff, and it even actually put a bit more stress because, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But I it's like, as I said, it's a big impact on my life. So
you're more than welcome.
Man.
You're more than welcome, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And I also can give you the feedback that many also in the professional industry knows you because of your Blender videos, the tutorials for building up the Mini and stuff like that. And I also really enjoy how you explain it, because sometimes it feels that we are part of the journey. You're building something, and then you're like, oh, I think I like it more like this. No, let's do it like that. It's not like it has to be done like this. So we're part of the journey, and that makes everyone feel like we learn together, and that's cool. You're not like a posh guy who wants to explain something. So we develop together how it's working, and that's a nice bit.
That's a great feedback. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I will do more often.
Yes, please.
So I will record when you are leaving to give a little bit more eargasm to people.
At 3 o'clock, I think we will be nice to the neighbors. But yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for finally making this.
Sure.
We will do more, guys. Don't worry.
Ciao, ciao.
See you, man.
See you
Ciao.
maybe tomorrow.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's see.
Over 3 a.m. Thanks for being here. I guess it's time to sleep.